Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. Joining us now is a UFC Flyweight out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Joby Sanchez. How you doing, man?
Doing great. How you doing, Jorge?
Pretty good. It's fine. It's good to finally have you on the show.
Yeah, it's been you've been ducking me, man.
I have been ducking. We're 20 episodes in, and this is the first time we have you. But welcome. I guess first off, I want to start off by just asking: when's your next fight?
Right now, I don't have anything lined up, but I'm really looking to get onto the card with Little John September 5th in Vegas. I'd really like that.
That's pretty quick turnaround. Do you feel all right being able to do that?
Yeah, 4.5 weeks. I stay in shape year round. Rarely do I just let myself get totally out of shape. Yeah. So I'd totally be ready for a fight in 4 weeks.
You brought up John Dodson. He's, of course, fighting Demetrius Johnson on that huge card in Las Vegas here in a few weeks. What's training been like? Have you been helping him a lot?
I have. There's a lot of flyweights now that's in the gym with him. Myself, Demetrius, Page, Nick Urso made it back into town, helped John train. There's a guy from Canada, Yoni, helping us, and it's been real fun, real intense, and like I said, fun.
Yeah, what's it like being part of a championship camp? I mean, you've been part of a few there, especially at Jackson's MMA. It's such a loaded gym.
I am very grateful to be a part of a championship camp. I mean, there's always guys in the gym that have a fight coming up, so everyone's always hungry. And the best part about being in a camp like that is there's guys that are no-names that you don't even know about that are trying to get to where you're at. There's guys like Landon Venata who are just hungry, so it pushes you to become even a better fighter.
Yeah. And you mentioned being a better fighter. You won your last UFC fight. You had lost the first one, and then you came back and won the second one. How much pressure did you feel on yourself that second UFC fight to get a win in the promotion, I should say?
I felt a little bit of pressure. I didn't want to go 2 in barbecue. I did not want to lose 2 and get thrown out of the UFC. I mean, I'd made it to the big show, and now I plan on staying there. It was a fun fight, and I'm grateful for it.
You have a lot of talented guys in that flyweight division. Obviously you don't have an opponent yet, but are there any guys down the way that you would like to fight?
Ryan Benoit, just because he knocked out Sergio Pettis. When Sergio Pettis gets a couple wins, I'd like to fight him. Scoggins would be another one. There's a couple guys in the flyweight division I'd like. And I was going to say Dustin Poirier, but Dustin Poirier is a 55. I mean, Dustin Ortiz.
I don't know if you want to go up to 55, man. No, that's 30 pounds more than you're at now. But as far as that, being just loaded, a 125-pound division, being part of a loaded camp, I mean, there's a lot that you learn every day, I assume.
Yes, there is. You have your days where you just kill it and you do great, and then you have your bad days because, like you said, it's just a loaded camp, and yeah.
And also, I think with John Dodson, how are you thinking he's going to line up against Demetrius Johnson the second time around?
I think he's taking it more serious than the first time he did. I wasn't there for his camp the first time, so I'm not too sure how he trained. Yeah. But from my understanding, he didn't train too hard. Yeah. And I think he's going to go out there and knock him out. He's going to stop the takedown and knock him out.
Now, you're part of a loaded Jackson's MMA camp, as we mentioned a couple of times already, but a handful, well, I shouldn't say a handful. I mean, there's a few people, maybe a dozen or so, that are at that, I guess, level that you're currently at, whether it be like the legacy or Bellator or UFC. You're one of the few that was born and bred here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. How much pride is there in you going out there, representing the best gym in the world, but also being from the town that it's based out of?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I have the town, the city behind me, I have the state behind me. I'm very grateful to be born and raised here and to have such a great camp like Jackson's. And just to be a part of a fight town. I mean, I started out fighting out of Chavez Dojo when I was seven years old. I stayed with that camp till I was about 22. And there, like I said, this is a fighting city. I learned so much there, and when I went on to Jackson's, I learned that same thing. I was able to go learn and adapt. So,
how big of a jump was that from going, from the Chavez Dojo to a lot of these, you have guys that have been doing MMA for, maybe 20 plus years?
It was a big jump. What really surprised me is that it showed that I'm not the only one that's hungry. Like I said, there's a lot of guys that weren't in the UFC and myself at the time. I wasn't in the UFC, and I just showed like these guys want it. How bad do I want it? So it pushed me as a fighter.
So what got you into fighting? How does a 7-year-old just say, hey, I want to do, Kajikembo or some random kickboxing?
Honestly, my dad used to watch boxing a lot on the television. I wasn't. He tried putting me in baseball or t-ball and didn't like that. Didn't like basketball, and I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to do that, and he's like, okay, and took me to the Chavez Dojo, and that's where I started.
Yeah. Besides fighting, you've done a couple of other things. What else are you currently doing? Or have you done recently?
Recently,
Yeah.
Well, I wrestled in high school. I was a state runner-up my senior year, and you can tell after you would never guess that after my first fight in the UFC. You're like, this guy has no takedown defense. But no. Speaking of which, I'm working with Bart Lujan now. He's with my wrestling, and I'm real grateful for him.
Yeah. And away from the gym, I think you do a little bit of volunteer work also.
Yeah, I've been volunteering with the Belen Fire Department for about a year and a half now, and I really enjoy that.
How's that?
It's a lot of fun. It has nights where I'm like, where it is volunteer work, but eventually I'd like to do that maybe.
Yeah, well, we definitely hope that your MMA career keeps continuing for the time being. You're only 24 years old, so you never know. Maybe we have another 10 years out of you here.
I'm hoping to go as far as I can with my MMA career, and then we'll see what I do from there.
Yeah, well, thanks again for coming out. Joby Sanchez, ladies and gentlemen, where can people catch you online?
You can catch me on Twitter as Joby Sanchez, and then Instagram at Joby1Kenobi.
Yeah, we'll be back after the break with Ray Borg's interview from last week.